Hello and good, beautiful day. I don't know what part of the country you're in, but I'm in North Dakota and spring has finally reached us and I'm so excited. It is warm and bright and sunny, and that's the most important. I wanted to come on here today because I have had these urges to come on and do a video. Of course, I wait until the urge is almost to a point where I can't bear it. And then because I like to ask why, isn't that important for me to come online and do a video? Because it's actually very difficult for me to do live feeds. I was originally going to do a live stream, but even though it's just me and the camera, I can feel everybody's everything and it can be quite overwhelming. So I don't like to do it that much unless I can really, really be super grounded. And then I get channeling or information comes through and I kind of coast off into something else, or the video is a lot longer than what it needs to be. And tapping into multiple things at one time isn't always the easiest when I'm trying to focus on the one thing I want to. So I'm going to try this way and see how it works. So I've been getting all kinds of info. Some of the things I wanted to talk about today is, of course, what everyone else is talking about is the coronavirus, or everybody calling it the COVID-19, which, hey, whatever floats your boat. If anybody has any worries or concerns, just know that I'm here to, help talk about it or talk through it. Just because it's a little bit of everything. And I guess that's where I want to start. I'm waiting for everybody just kind of drop in and let them just kind of vomit out and let them do their thing. And I can just step aside and just be a vessel. But that's not happening yet. So I'm trying to adjust my air conditioning because it's very warm today. There has been a lot of spiritual teachers putting out a lot of videos as to what they think the COVID-19 is and what's going on. And I'm sure there's a lot of good information out there. I just ask for people to use their discernment and to guide them to what they feel is more of light, because there is so many things going on with just the virus and what is underneath that umbrella of what it is. And to me, that's kind of how I see it. The virus itself is like this thing, or it's a creator of space being held for the everything that is going on right now. There's like all kinds of places I want to touch. So let's just start one at a time, please. So for me, this virus, yes, it is very sad on a very human level, and the things that how it's affecting people and the trials and tribulations people are going through, experiencing the very physical part of this. It is very sad, and I give them light and love and blessings. On the other side of that, there's a whole lot of things going on. I've been hearing people talk a lot about aliens. I've been hearing people talk a lot about the Illuminati and the Knights of Templar and all these different realities. The truth is, it's all of that in a wonderful bag of chips. With this virus, it is, I don't even like calling it a virus, this space being held by the coronavirus. Is a lot of reality shifting, and I also get that it is crumbling of realities, and those realities are trying very, very hard to survive this, which I don't feel like they're going to, and that is a plus. There's definitely a lot of alien interaction with people that I've been finding very interesting, because I don't interact with a lot of aliens myself. God, there's just a lot of everything. And I wish my message is people not to be so overwhelmed and don't think that there's one specific thing they need to be holding on to, because there's so much going on. Just being observant, and what comes to you, always ask yourself, is this for me? I was speaking with someone today that was getting bombarded with certain realities of things that they thought they needed to look into. And I think actually for them, it was the Illuminati popping up in front of their timeline and their messages, people sharing it with her. And she said, I don't feel like it resonates with me, but why is it here? That's why I always think, I always promote people connecting with your four bodies and building that line of communication with your four bodies, your ego, your physical, your emotional, of course, your spiritual body. Because if you have a good line of communication with them, that is you, you can discern the information coming in front of you. So for this specific example, you would simply ask, is this information for me? Is it valid for me to know? It's important for me to know. Is there a lesson for me to know? Is this for me? However you want to ask it, and if you want to ask it 3,000 different times, whatever resonates with you. For her, it was a no. So then I helped her go down the rabbit hole a little bit, ask why that information is there. What I got is because that reality is trying to survive in a place where it's not going to be surviving much longer. Because also with this wonderful opportunity that this experience is giving everyone, collectively we're asking to be in a higher vibration, to have more connectivity, to connect with each other physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And some of these realities cannot exist in that anymore. And yes, I do feel the Illuminati, the Knights Templar, and all of those very sub-collective collectives that are not of higher frequency, that don't align with us anymore, are trying very hard to stay alive themselves. So they're reaching out to anyone who will listen, because they were very secretive in their nature during their time in their reality. And our collective ourselves don't want secrets. We don't want seclusion. We don't want that type of reality anymore that doesn't serve us. We want to be connected. We want to live in higher frequency of love and light. And those realities are just not holding that. So they are reaching out to anyone that has any type of possibility of tapping into that reality and believing in it. And that reality is very hard trying to loop in people and logics to make it sound like it is a valid thing now. And it's not. That's how I feel. If you resonate differently with that, that's totally fine. That's your reality and your belief. And I totally honor and respect that. I just am going with what I'm feeling and what I'm feeling from the collective of humanity. On an earth level, of course, Mother Earth is just loving this time right now because she is getting a breather. She's getting a wonderful breath of rest and rejuvenation, and being able to create and reproduce herself in so many ways. I've been seeing this going on for a couple years now, her trying to catch up and serving the collective as they ask for it, even though they don't understand it. Like California and their fires and some of these volcanoes, the people of those areas very much want to give and want Mother Earth and say, I will give anything and all that I am to help you in this way. And so Mother Earth uses that energy and created those things. It just is being read wrong by people, in a sense, because I know I'm going to get some backlash about that. But yes, the fires in California, however long ago that was putting ashes into the ocean to help put charcoal in the ocean to help filter the waters. Same with all the volcanic activity that's going on. Same with what's going on right now with everyone being quarantined. She is getting a breather and catching up with our human footprint, because as much as we are creating more humans and to be here and to have this wonderful experience, she needs to be able to catch up. Jokingly, I heard her say that we should have a quarantine at least once a year. So she can help keep the balance, which I think that would be great, but I'm sure many other people would not think that's a great idea. And it's funny because a lot of the alien connections I've been getting are working a lot with her, with the elementals that are here, which I'm learning more about them, and especially now elementals working with aliens. So it's been really interesting. They are working with her and her energy shifting into these higher frequencies and these other realities. For all of us where we want to be or choosing to have experiences. And so that's kind of going on too. Collectively, we want just connection and not shadiness anymore. I get shadiness. That's a word I didn't expect coming collectively. The shadiness of others, and to be more open with truth of any kind that serves their highest best. And I think people are ready to move into that, even though on a very physical level, they're having a hard time. Their souls and energies definitely all on board with that, even a lot of their emotional bodies, but their egoic and physical bodies are having a hard time adapting to that, because programming, it'll get you every time. Your egoic programming, even your DNA programming from your biological families and the creation of a reality plays a part. And we're trying to shift out of that. Humans, what we can do is talk to your four bodies, talk to your egoic body, and see what you can do to help unravel those, your insecurities, your control issues, your fear of knowing things, your fear itself, fear of other people. I'm getting a lot of people are afraid of just how other people are going to react when they think this situation's going to get worse. That's creating snowball effects that is not needed at this time. But they're also asking for those fears to be taken away. But they are also receiving the message that connectivity and listening to their energetic body, their four bodies, and listening to the energetic anything is what they need to do. So on a human level, work through your egos, talk to them. If your ego doesn't want to tell you why a program is there, or how it was created and when, talk to your emotional body, talk to your physical body, and talk to your soul body. Talk to those bodies just like I'm talking to you right now, just like another person. You are not crazy. You are not going to be considered crazy. And if you think you are, go in your bathroom and sit and talk to them. Don't say, I'm talking to myself. Don't sit there and say, I'd like to talk to me. Well, any four of you is going to answer. And how are you going to know unless you ask and connect to that energy to know that specific you're talking to? And I say that because your emotional body and your physical body work with your egoic body a lot to create programs and insecurities and control issues and fear-based things. So you have to talk to them individually, see where that comes from. And remember, your ego is not evil. Your ego is not bad. If you feed it bad things, it's going to turn bad. It's just like anything else you feed, or environmental wise. You give it an environment where it can't be healthy, it can't grow or create balance, both positive and negative. Of course, you're going to have an extreme of one or the other, and that's not healthy. It's unhealthy. So create balance with your ego. Your ego creates programs not to harm you, even though they can be self-destructive. But originally, they create those programs to protect you from what scared you or made you afraid or hurt you in the first place. Even though later in your life, you're going to find them self-destructive and no longer self-serving. So communication is everything. So work on that, my friends, and help break down those very human parts of you that have fear, because we don't need it. Yes, our news does project a lot of fear, but our news can project good things. We just need to start demanding that from them from time to time. Balance it out. Yes, and we do need to be aware of serious things that go on in our world, and how this virus might be affecting people and the numbers and the science behind that. But we need some positive too, because if we keep feeding ourselves fear and trying to make it a logical thing, being in a sense of, I need to watch this so I know what to avoid or where the numbers are or whatever it is. But balance that out with, I want to watch some videos about how these people made it through this, inspiring stories, or what people are doing to help people. And even, can I help people in this time? Or do I have a creative idea to help someone while being quarantined? Create that balance. And everyone has that urge to do it. And I hear in my head that's, yes, when you don't think you do, you are, but your fear and your ego is trumping that urge, trying to protect you, saying it's not a good idea. Are you fucking insane, lady? You're going to, blah, 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 blah. Well, let me just talk you through that, ego. If I come up with a way to help someone without contaminating myself or possibly contaminating anybody else, that idea could help others. It could help businesses. It can, you don't know, but it is serving and helping. So balance your fear a little bit. Make it where it's not overcoming. That's so very important. Let's see what else is coming through my brain hole. Even if you think that you cannot go out and serve and help anybody physically by helping anybody, be at home and give out that energy, send out that energy of, I'm wishing everyone light and love. I want to send out blessings. I want to bless someone, say a prayer, dear God, thank you for my health. And I would ask you pass on these blessings to everyone else, to help through these times, and hope they can find things to do at home to keep them from having cabin fever. Just send out those blessings. It doesn't matter if anybody hears you. Energy hears you, because energy is everything. So if you're by yourself, even if you're alone in your home, send out those blessings. Something and someone is going to hear it, and they're going to feel it and be grateful you sent them out to them. Or even creative ideas. If you can't have the nerve to put it on Facebook or anywhere else, say it and project it out into the collective, because someone else will pick up that idea and use it and be thankful for that. It also helps validate that you are listening to the collective and you are passing information back and forth to the collective. We're all capable of doing it. Yes, and gifts. It's been very interesting. Gifts have been amped up during this time for a lot of us. Definitely mine. I terrified of clairvoyance and I Control Alt Delete. I heard that. I am working through my fear of clear sight. It's a fear that I've had all my life, because when I was very young, I used to see things, and they weren't like what the TV would show people, just a ghost person or whatever. My clairvoyance came in very differently, and it was very frightening. It wasn't anything negative. It was just how apparently on a soul level I thought I would get it. I was not getting it. So I shut that down, and through my fear, I shut down almost all of my gifts except for my clear knowing. But with this energy shift and everything going on, my gifts have amped up, and anytime there is a clear or a full moon or a new moon, more so. So it's a good time to work through that. Anyways, what I was going to say about that is everyone has gifts. Some of us asked to come in just with a couple of them or all of them more prominent for whatever purpose we're going to serve and assist and help. Excuse me, I had lunch a little bit ago. Digestion. So for some of us who's never felt them, they're starting to feel them, and it's a good time to practice connect and feel them out and learn your discernment with them. Some of us who's had gifts, other gifts are acting up that they've not had before, and some of their gifts that they have are definitely amped up. Have fun with them, play with them, connect with them. See who's helping, assisting you with those, your guides, aliens. I'm still getting a kick over that one. just ask the questions. And yes, the practice of inquiry. Pamela Erlin, I love her so much. She's my favorite teacher. That was like one of the greatest gifts that she taught, was the spiritual of inquiry. Ask all the questions until you and your ego are satisfied, and when you feel that validation of truth. Because when you ask those questions, remember, energy is everything. And when you feel that truth inside of you, some of us get tingles, some of us get a physical validation, some of us just get an energetic validation. But when you feel that and you say to yourself, that's truth, that's my truth, yes. Feel that energetic frequency, that feeling, because that'll carry with you with all your gifts when you're trying to discern the truth and when you're asking questions. Because when you're asking questions, you'll feel, yep, that's the right question and answer. Yep, okay, or I need to ask it a different way. So ask all the questions, be creative with your questions, and feel your questions. That's the most important. Feel your questions and feel the answers that come to you. And remember, answers do not come just in words. They come in emotions. They come in physical sensations. They come as thought. They come as a blip image in your mind, because your physical body is always going to be the last thing that gets it. My clear thoughts come through very fast, very clear a lot of the times, but when I'm trying to practice with my other gifts, it's a lot harder because it's a physical thing. Feeling, emotion, even my emotional, those are more physical. So it's harder to understand and discern them. So I have to ask a lot more questions. So ask the questions. Be curious. I think that's the most important too. Be curious. Don't be afraid, because when you're curious and ask questions, that helps erase fear. And when you can erase fear, you're achieving what you as a collective wants, which is getting rid of the fear. Be curious and don't be afraid of being curious. And when it comes to these realities that are fading out and are eventually going to be non-existent at some point, like with one of my friends, feel that's important, that feel. Is this really for me? Is this for me to learn? And if you're just not feeling it, it's not for you. And if you're still curious, ask, why is this here? Why is this presenting itself to me? If you're not getting an answer right away, start off small. Start asking each of your 4 bodies, and then go on to your guides. Ask your soul, ask your guides, ask source, ask an ascended master. I asked Jesus straight up. I'm sorry, I got a nose itch. Ask Jesus straight up. Say, hey, dear Jesus or Yeshua, what is up with this? And remember, your answers aren't going to come as a voice. I'm sorry, I'm being corrected. It may come through as a voice, but it also may come through a voice, a sight, through any of your senses or any of your clairs. So be open and give yourself a minute. I mean, if it doesn't come to you right then, give yourself a second for it to set in. Because for some of us who have very active minds, very monkey minds, not until we're outside gardening or doing a chore, then it bloop, pops right in, and there's the answer. And sometimes that can cause a little confusion for people, because you create self-doubt. Well, was that the answer? What's going on? And you start throwing yourself out of whack and out of alignment. Go, oh, okay, that was a good answer to something I asked you a day and a half ago, but thank you, or 4 hours ago, but thank you. And there you go. And hold on to that feeling also, because when you find yourself in that position, when something drops in, when you are physically doing something like a chore or something, and something drops in like that, that is you putting your ego aside. Sorry, got correct again. That is your ego and your physical body being preoccupied and allowing that flow to drop in. That's why some of us can meditate a lot better when we're driving, as dangerous and funny as that sounds, because your ego and your physical body are too distracted by the responsibility of driving, or by the responsibility of doing a chore, or whatever physical thing you're doing, and it whatever drops through or you feel and comes in, you can hear and feel a little louder because they're too busy doing this and they're too busy to judge what is coming through or dropping in. So that's why some of us just meditate a lot better when our physical and egoic bodies are occupied. And when you do feel that, then you can feel that energy and know when something drops in that it is something dropping in and it's not you thinking or creating that, or it's something else. So hold on to that feeling when you feel that. Let's see, what else you guys got for me today? I take a drink of water. My urge is like starting to die down, so I think I'm starting to empty the tank a little bit. Which is good because I felt like I was about to pop out of my skin. And like I said, I haven't done a video in, it's probably been almost a year, I think. Yeah, last spring. When Mother Earth was just coming through hardcore about those volcanoes. Because I kept asking her what was up with that. She's trying very, very hard to just catch up. You know, she loves that we're all creating this experience here and having these experiences. And she's happy to provide this space for us. It's just trying to keep this reality balanced for all of us is difficult. And that's why she asks for help sometimes. And that's why some of us just volunteer the help, which is really great. Sorry that I'm looking around. I'm in my car and my neighbors are coming and going, and plus then energies are talking to me and I get distracted. Where was I go with that? So, I lost track. I was watching my neighbors and the birds and I got sidetracked. So yeah, ask questions. My tank's getting empty. Yeah, I think that might be it, unless something decides to drop through really quick. Learn to enjoy your company, and if you are having anybody at home with you, learn to enjoy their company. And you don't have to sit face to face with them and have a conversation, which is great. And don't get me wrong, that can be really great, but feel their energy, communicate with their energy. Energy always has a lot to say. Oh, Mother Earth came back to me. This is just where I am. When everything gets talking to me, that's just, it's not my attention span. It's just a little bit is. Something comes in, yaks to me, goes away, comes back and yaks to me. And when you have about 5 to 20 of those things happening, it's very hard to focus. But it's funny because I can have 5 or 6 or more conversations at one time while I'm talking with somebody. So anyhow, Mother Earth is, the things that she does is just really awesome. And I'm so grateful that she is providing this space and reality for us to play in. And remember, this is all play. I know that is very hard for a lot of people to hear, but this reality of duality is exactly that. It is a playground for us and our gifts and our talents and who we are as people. They're all toys for us to play with, and they're all toys for us to help other play. And while all these realities are definitely going through their peaks, I definitely got off Mother Earth subject. I'll come back, I promise. Remember that we're in a very creative place that allows so many realities to happen at one time, individually, separately, however you want to say it, while trying to be all on the same reality. And at the same time, for some of us who are experiencing parallel realities, which has been really weird for me, dual realities, and different planetary realities, and all those different things going on, and then just the little realities within this reality. Play with it, play and have fun, and respect other people's realities. Not, let me backtrack a little bit. Judgment. Don't cast judgment on those people's reality. If you're not in that reality at that time, that's fine. That's not your reality, and that's not your belief at this time. But that person is having that experience, and is going through that for their own lessons, and whoever is choosing to play in that reality at that time. If it's made aware of you, maybe it's just for the fact that to be made aware of that there is more than one reality out there. Or there is other realities of playing if you're tired of playing in yours. But don't judge other people's realities and beliefs. I go through that a lot. And I have those issues with myself I struggle with because I see everything in a bigger picture through oneness and through source. And when I work with a lot of clients, I have to pull myself out of that and put myself in their reality to help them understand it and channel their guides and their soul and their four bodies and parts of their reality to help them work their reality. And when I come out of it, then I'm back in my source and my oneness. But that has also been a beautiful gift and experience because there are so many realities out there. And that's part of the reason why I don't play in a lot of spiritual groups, because the mentality of even in spiritual groups is that this is it, or this is how it is. No, it's not. It's everything. Just love all these realities and respectively choose to play in it or not. But don't downgrade and don't judge for other people playing. And if someone's reaching out for help in their reality and and you happen to be there, if you want to help, play in their reality a little bit on a light and love level, obviously, because you might learn. When I say learn, I always get corrected, is remember, but you might learn or remember something that might help you on your experience in your reality. And you might not even be playing in their reality from that point on, but something you picked up from there or served them will help you in yours. So don't judge, play and have fun playing. And remember who you are. You are light. I don't care if you're an alien. I don't care if you're a gnome, or you're a fairy, or where your aspect comes through strongly on this time and space of you being human. You are light. We're all light. So if you come through specific something and very heavy in those beliefs, just remember you are light. Everything you work with around you is light, even if it in your reality you're seeing it as black and white, good and bad. Even what you perceive as bad is light. Have fun and play in that, with that knowing that you are light, and it'll help erase your fear when you're playing in your reality, that remembering that you are light. We all are of source. We are all of God. So if we all are that should help erase the fear when you're going into